The newest component of Immunity Plus is nitric oxide response. Nitric oxide is a critical component of the innate immune system. The innate immune system being responsible for really the first line of defense when a new pathogen is presented, meaning that when that pathogen enters the body of the animal, the innate immune system is able to recognize that there is a threat to that animal and provide that first line of defense. Nitric oxide itself has been shown to be what's called cytotoxic, meaning that the nitric oxide that's released by the cells when they recognize a threat is able to kill off that pathogen by itself. And when the pathogen challenge is small enough, the nitric oxide response is really able to functionally end that threat on its own. Obviously, when there's a larger pathogen challenge, the innate immune system needs to prime the other components of the immune system to respond as well, and that's really when AIMer and CEMer and the broader memory-based immune system really kicks in. Nitric oxide has been shown in a number of studies in humans to have a lot of other interesting effects, and we're still doing a lot of research in the dairy space on some things, but it's been shown to help control tumors and autoimmune processes, among other things. And luckily for us here at Semex, we have an agreement with the University of Guelph to use their patent pending method to measure nitric oxide response in vitro, and on top of that, it's very, very heritable because it's a very simple biological pathway. So there's not a lot of not a lot of genes that control it. There's a fair amount of genetic variation in that response, but not a lot of genes controlling it. Meaning that with a very simple test, we can really identify the range in nitric oxide production of animals. And the really nice thing we've seen in our data is that there is a really strong association with disease, especially in animals who don't produce nitric oxide readily, who don't produce it very well. They have significantly more disease, up to 50% more mastitis and lameness than herd mates who produce nitric oxide properly, because they're not able to mount that first response on a minor pathogen challenge, which then, the pathogen grows in the body and it can snowball into a much more severe disease incidence. Whereas if an animal is producing adequate levels of nitric oxide, they're able to respond just through that innate immune response and kill off that potential pathogen. Thanks.